If you're feeling stuck in your 9 to 5 and trapped because you don't really know what else to do, then this video is going to be for you. Maybe you've looked at other jobs and you're just thinking, I'd have to retrain, I'd have to start at the bottom on less money and work my way up, and that's just not something that you want to consider doing. What I recommend doing is networking, but networking in a very specific way, and I'm going to break that down for you in this video. The traditional networking approach usually involves kind of a win-win situation. What can I get from you and what can you get from me? But if you approach networking in the way that I'm going to suggest that you do, you're not reaching out to pitch yourself. You're not looking for opportunities necessarily or job hunting. All you're doing is having a conversation with somebody that you're really interested in. And you'd be surprised how many people are happy to share their experience. By asking them about their story and their industry, you're making them feel valued and seen. So that's why people are more inclined to help you when you approach things in this way. With these valuable conversations, and I've had 2 of them this week, it uplifts you. It gives you confidence and ideas, and potentially it gives you opportunities further down the line in the future as well. So where do you find these people to reach out to and have these conversations with? Well, it all depends on what makes you curious. What are you interested in? I'll give you some examples. So I am in quite a few online communities. Most of them are either on Discord or School. On the School one, for example, this is an AI community. I'm in that community talking and contributing to people, asking questions, and I've got a call booked in with somebody to ask more questions later on this week. And again, it's curiosity. Because I'm approaching this from a curious point of view, people are more than happy to help. So start with what you're curious about, what you're interested in, and join the online communities and start contributing and see if you can make some connections, and ask if anyone's free this week or next week for a 15-minute call. Another good platform to look at is LinkedIn. I've just started using LinkedIn again, and I've made quite a few connections on there already. It's very, very easy to reach out to people. And again, if you pitch yourself right, i.e. you're not asking for anything, you're not selling anything, you're just curious. And my advice, and this is what I've done and it's worked for me, is don't just make connections on LinkedIn and then message. Do some research. Go to their website and have a look what they're all about. Have a look at their story. And when you do contact them and reach out to them, tell them a little bit about yourself. Tell them your backstory and why you're interested in what they do. And just say, look, I would love a 15-minute conversation just to ask you a few questions. And with that warm outreach with no expectations, you're more likely to get positive responses. As a bonus tip, I recommend joining any online webinars or events, perhaps that they're hosting or that are being hosted on the communities, the online communities. This is where you can verbally start to talk to people and start to build connection rather than just typing comments on a video, for example. So once you've reached out to these people, hopefully you'll get a few calls booked in. Video calls are best for this, either Google Meet or Zoom, but it is quite a nerve-wracking thing. I understand that. Approaching a complete stranger effectively, even with curiosity, there is still going to be some anxiety around this. I get that. So let's talk about what you can ask them. If you've got it written down or even just an idea in your mind of the questions that you want to ask, it's going to make it a lot easier and it'll flow a lot more naturally for you because you'll have your fallback questions. You don't want to overcomplicate it. These aren't going to be long conversations. I would just stick to 4 or 5 questions, and this is what I would ask. The first one is just ask them a bit about their story. How did they get started, and why do they do what they do, and how did they get started in it? What led them to this path? The second question I would ask them is, what trends are they spotting in their industry at the moment? So for example, if I was on the call with an AI developer, I would ask that question and I might get an answer to suggest that the trends in the industry at the moment are no-code tools and chatbots or something like that. The next question that you want to follow on with is, where do you see opportunity? And this is a fantastic question because you've asked about the trends. So the trends is what everybody's doing. Now what you want to do is ask where they see opportunity. And the final question I would ask them is, if they were starting out in the industry from scratch, what would they be doing? How would they be going about getting established in the industry? And again, if it's something that you're curious about and interested in potentially going in yourself, this is a really good question to ask to give you a starting point. Even if you're just looking at it as a side hustle or a hobby or just going to test the waters, it's a good starting place. And I guarantee you will be getting ideas that you hadn't even thought of. And the more people you speak to, the more of a picture that you will paint of that industry. And it'll help you to decide if it is definitely something that you want to do. If it is, you've just made a fantastic connection with somebody who's helped you with telling you their story, helped you with information and trends and opportunities. Perhaps you can help them in the future. As you're going into this, you never know. There might be opportunities that they then present you with. But right now, you're not asking for anything. You're just treating it purely with curiosity, building your confidence, getting ideas, and getting yourself a starting point. And I cannot tell you how valuable this information is. If you do it, you will be at least one step ahead of where you were previously before you took the action. And I've talked a lot about taking action in my videos and that you need to have a bias to action. This is where to start. This is the first action that you should take. Pick something that interests you, find people that are already doing that, and just have a 15-minute conversation with them. I've given you the questions to ask, so all you need to do is get online and get messaging, get connecting with people. You don't need to wait for clarity. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to start taking steps and share your story with me. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you're curious about. And while you're here, let me tell you about my other channel. I'll link it down below. This is the new channel that I've set up to document learning how to build AI agents. AI chatbots is kind of what I'm focusing on at the moment, and sharing industry knowledge as I'm learning it. AI is a skill that I am promoting. This goes really well with wanting to help people who are stuck in the 9 to 5, because this is actually giving you a skill that is going to be really, really valuable over the coming months and years. So if you haven't already, go check out the channel. There's a link down below in the description. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.